Really briefly, there are some future iterations. We have the Super Nintendo version. We have the PS1 version, which added cutscenes. The DS version, which kept the cutscenes and added some additional content. And the PC mobile version, which happened. What do you guys think? I mean, we talked about it. We think the DS is the best version. We all agreement on that one?
Yeah.
I think with the added features and boss? I don't know.
There's a couple things. Yeah.
Yeah, I could agree on that. But I playing on the PlayStation 1 initially, and then now playing on not the PlayStation 1, it was definitely, I could definitely see why it needed the cutscenes. I don't know about the other content in the DS, but the PlayStation 1 still feel it holds a place in my heart.
How much does it cost today, Chrono Trigger, if you're going to buy the Super Nintendo version?
Okay, I'm looking at the DS one right now. There's cheap Chinese makes you can get for $25, but it's got to ship from China, so that sucks. But if you want it complete, American version, actually, let's talk Japanese first because that's next up on the ladder. A complete Japanese version will run you about $43, and a complete copy of the North American one online is about $110.
When it comes to the DS fake carts, just to approach up, they won't work in a 3DS.
Oh,
I've learned that the hard way. Yeah, because I had a fake Tetris DS once, and it worked in a normal DS when I tested it, and then the 3DS just, I don't know, it has some extra like copy protection.
that is such a bummer because I was going to do that. I didn't know it was so cheap to get the Chinese one.
You'll know when you put it in. It feels like the cartridge like doesn't go in straight, and I thought like I broke my 3DS, but it's just something with the bootleg games on a 3DS don't work.
That's rough. The SNES one I have up here, it looks like it's ballpark $215 for a cartridge only. And there's also cheap Chinese makes. You could get this SNES 110-in-1 RPG in action with Super Mario, Chrono Trigger, Zelda, etc. That's about $24, but I don't know if that goes in the system or not, or if it's just a magnet for your fridge.
I had it for the DS. I have the case and everything. But I lent the cartridge to a friend at work, and then he left that job.
Oh.
And destroyed all ties. So he has my Chrono Trigger on the DS, which is like, to me, the best game ever made because it's my favorite game and it's on the DS, which is, it's portable now. Like, to me, that's like the perfect thing. And he broke my heart. And now it's super expensive. And it's like, I can play it other ways, so I don't know, but it kills me.
Do you know about the Steam version? How much is that?
That's the one I recently played for the streaming. It was like $15 or something like that.
Is that the same as the DS one? Or?
It's similar, but it's they did. You can do you can do like a patch for it, I believe, that restores it to look like the DS or the Super Nintendo text.
Isn't that a mobile port?
It's the same thing. Yeah. And so there's little problems with it. There's little graphical things too. I think they fixed them, but you can switch back to them, and if you look at this, they're like embarrassingly bad. Like they put the different squares, like when you make the trees and everything in the mini map, they just had this thing that recycled the same tree thing, so it looks so ugly. It's beyond belief that ever got released, but it did, which is really embarrassing. So.
One last one. The PS1 copy of Final Fantasy Chronicles with Final Fantasy IV and Chrono Trigger will run you upwards of about $25. That's for the Greatest Hits edition. The Black Label, I'm not sure.
Okay, so there's some playable versions that are not that expensive. But I guess if you want to get the original, you're going to have to... on Super Nintendo.
Would you want to get the original?
I don't think so. There's no reason to besides collectors.
There's no animated cutscenes.
No.
The dialogue comes on the screen, which personally I liked on the DS. You could just put it on the bottom screen, like those little text boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Say Chrono used Cyclone.
But my nostalgia. So take that.
Yeah, how dare you, Teddy?
Touche. We don't put nostalgia in the review scores.
A lot of people do, though. I don't know. A lot of people look at the Metacritic of Ocarina of Time, man. I think people do.
Damn. Okay. All right. We're getting a little too close.
No. I love Ocarina of Time.
We're out here.